Welcome then to Eurosport's coverage of the 1991 Tour de France. We're at this prologue start in Lyon, and we've just seen a cracking time put up by Rolf Goltz of the Arios Steer team, who has now gone into the lead on this prologue time trial. As in all prologue time trials, the riders are seeded so that the top men come in towards the end. You join us now with Cardenas coming in to finish. That time of Rolf Goltz, 6:22.38, an absolute cracker then for him, because he has toppled the previous leader, Erik van Hooijdonk, from the leaderboard. There, looking at the clock, you'll be able to do your own little judgment on these riders back at home on what is turning out to be a very, very interesting prologue time trial. The sun beating down here and a little bit of wind about, but temperatures well up in the 30s, and that would have been a cracking time too, but he's not going to topple top men. He's gone down into 11th place then for number 113 from the Raelo Postobon team, and that was Meyer Castillon. So the 113 was Cardenas, Henri Cardenas. The next rider we'd like to see into the finish area will be Gianetti. The teams moving through. We've got 22 teams here in the Tour de France this year, with 9 riders in each team. Gianetti coming in from the Helvetia Swiss team, who did such a great performance. If you're watching Eurosport's coverage of the Tour de Suisse, when Leclerc took the prologue time trial, went on to take the yellow jersey through to the first day, crashed a bit later on, and of course Pascal Richard from this team took second place behind Luc Ruzen, who's not riding in the Tour de France because the Tulip squad unable to make the cut. The 22 teams you're going to watch over the next 3 weeks will be the first 16 selected by virtue of the points that they've obtained during the rolling 12-month period. That got them self-selection, and we had a wildcard selection then of another 6 teams to make the squads up that you're going to watch over the next 3 weeks. All the riders then going today, 22 of them by 9, makes 198 competitors, and this prologue time trial covering a distance of 5.4 kilometres here at Lyon. Well, we're going to take a short break as Lavienne comes in to finish. Back in just a couple of minutes. Do join us.
Étape sur les routes du Tour de France, c'était sa finale. L'année dernière, il était 2e à Nantes et 3e à Genève. Il est parti depuis un petit peu plus de 6 minutes et 18 secondes. La veine progressivement est arrivée en forme. Il avait eu un début de saison volontairement prudent. Et là, il y a au fil des jours et des heures, le déclic s'est passé sur le critérium du quotidien. La veine va aller 6 minutes.
Well, Eurosport picking up this time trial here at Lyon, as Lavienne coming in to finish that stage, the prologue, which, as I say, measured 5.4 kilometres, and a very tough little course it is too today, because the worst part about it is the intense heat, and the best time we've had so far put up by Rolf Goltz at 6 minutes 22.28 seconds, as a clerk from the Amaya squad riding on their BH bicycles coming in towards this finishing area. One thing about this team then put together this year, again they're going to, I think, to look for the mountains best of all, because they've recruited that great man Fabio Parra to ride with them this year, and we've already seen what good form he's in when he was riding in the Tour of Spain, so we're going to see if he can get himself up in the top 10. Good opportunity then in the prologue time trial to see many of the riders who, once the race gets into the mountains, may be off the back, as they say, catching the bus, because one thing these riders have to do is to stay within the time limit every day, and the teams have got a nice combination of sprinter roadmen, mountain climbers, and a group of what they call domestiques, whose job it is to look after the team leader when he wants help, and they're back in 91st place. Leclerc, not expecting him, I think, to do more than be one of the domestiques. But you never know. Andy Bishop coming in now from America. What a checkered career this rider has had. A couple of years ago, he was riding with PDM. He got sick, failed to make the team, then drifted back to America to ride for a lowly American team in the Tour de Trump last year. finally did so on the Tour de Trump. They selected him for what was then the 7-11 squad and found himself into the Tour de France. Well, here is Andy Bishop yet again in the Tour de France, a stage winner in the DuPont Tour. This man will be, I think, looking to support his top team rider, because the Motorola team here with Andy Hampson have got a very strong squad indeed, and of course most of them English speaking, and a very interesting combination it is too, believe you me. So the competitors then, we put him back I think in 10th place there, 6:22.28 yet to beat. So Bishop not making it there. Sammy Moriels will be the next one to come in to side, give an opportunity of having a good look at some of these colours, because these are usually the outstanding colours of the Lotto Super Club MBK, and they're quite bright colours. They are, you can see the pink colour and the very bright bicycles they ride. Le Monde is said to, didn't have a chance to have a good look at his bike, but said to be riding black bicycles this year rather than multicoloured ones, but we'll have a look at that later on. Morels from the Belgian squad, the Lotto team coming through. They've just got a complete Belgian team, by the way, international cycling being what it is. A lot of the teams go around looking for riders from outside their main country, but Lotto Super Club are a team that's based in Belgium, rides with Belgian riders, and particularly with some of the sprinters like Johan Museeuw, who won the final stage into Paris, the Tour de France last year. They're probably looking for some success on stage successes. 63rd is the time position for Moriel, 6:41.91, and let's see, the fastest time 6:22, so he's dropped himself the thick end of 20 seconds there. Of course, right now it's the glory really of staying close in contention, because very often the man who wins the Prologue time trial is not the one that will be there at the end of the Tour de France wearing the final yellow jersey, because Prologue time trials is very much a specialist event. Does this thrash of some 6 and a bit minutes round a very interesting course, twisting outside the Parc de la Tête d'Or here at the Quai à Lignon, and then works its way round through the Boulevard de Belge and back in through the Allée du Lac, and coming back in towards the Place du General Leclerc, heading down the Boulevard des Belges, which is suitable I think for the Lotto team, to finish here at Quai à Lyon in Lyon. That's the site. We'll greet the riders. Number 55, not really, I think, in there with a shout. Camilo Passera from the Gatorade Chateau Dax team. This Chateau Dax sponsored by Gatorade, the drink. Chateau Dax, of course, some very, very strong riders indeed. And when we get back towards the back end of the race, you'll see the number 1 riders come in, because with 22 teams numbered down from 1 through to 9, it's the men with the 1 numbers on them who are the key people on whom all chance rests of doing well in the Tour. Number 46 then from the very, very strong Once team, who absolutely demolished the Tour of Spain. This is Martinez coming in, and we'll see their big hitters later on. But the way this team rode in the Tour of Spain this year to get Mauri into the winning position right the way through from day one. 6:30.69 puts him in the 17th place at the moment. The next one to come then after that will be Alonso, number 32 I think his number is. So Alonso, next one to come down. Monge Alonso from the Benesto squad. Benesto bringing a very interesting team together for this particular race this year, because they've also got in their squad Jean-Francois Bernard, who of course at one time was the great French white hope to take over where Hinault left off and challenge Laurent Fignon, but he's now absconded from the French squad and gone off to ride with this man's team, the Benesto squad, a financial institution and banking organisation in Spain, where in Spain cycle racing really is one of the national sports. They've only got more professional racing teams based in Spain now than almost anywhere else. One time I think Italy used to have the most, but now Spain getting very heavy into cycling, because it's getting tremendous television coverage in Spain in cycle racing. 27th place then for Monge Alonso. I think he'll be reasonably happy with that one, but who's going to get inside that 6:20? That's the first sort of little bridge we've got to break. Van Hooydonk 6:24.20 stood for an awful long time until Goltz came along with his 6:22. So Goltz, the best man. Goltz, of course, in the Great Tour de Switzerland that we covered a couple of weeks ago, was away in that 4-man break on the second stage that changed the whole shape of the race. Drifted a bit back off the pace as the race went underway, but nevertheless was certainly looking good form, actually. So that's the best time, still Rolf Goltz from the Allianz Steer squad. And number 27 coming down here now is Jos van Aert from the PDM team. And that's going to be fairly quick. This could be close into maybe third or fourth place. No, he's lost it on that run in. He's going to lose a bit of speed, rocking his bike somewhat, and that's going to put him 17th. So he's outside the top 10. That put him outside the top 10. Can anybody get inside this 6:20 magic barrier? Well, we're going to take a short break. Do come back.
Eurosport.
Coverage of this time trial stage, prologue time trial of the Tour de France, this one which sets up the scene for the race stage one starting, of course, tomorrow. Lyon, 115 kilometre ride, and in the afternoon we have the team time trial. Nice to ride against the watch to get some sort of break between the competitors. Bruno Connolly for the all-conquering Z squad. What a job they're going to have during the Tour to decide who's going to be the man they've got to look after. Certainly Greg LeMond, who we'll see coming last off the start ramp, is the one that is going to be the chap that we're going to ride for. But the performance of Gilbert Duclos-Lassalle to win the Midi Libre about 10 days ago really caused quite a surprise to everybody. And of course Robert Miller's in fine form climbing the mountain, so it'll be interesting to see how that Z team goes this time. The one, of course, we're going to wait to see in this time trial will be Thierry Marie, as Ineke Gaston coming in here, number 216 on his way through, riding for the class team, and Ruiz Cabastini is their leader. Same with the ones we're going to wait for then, the numbers 1 in each case. Actually, what's happened with Marie from the Castorama team, he doesn't ride as their number 1 team. That's Laurent Fignon. We'll see Laurent come not in that top 22 riders at the back end. He's moved up a place to allow Marie to go in the slot of the man who would normally wear the 1 on his back. We'll show you that later on and come up and tell you about it. But that's interesting because Marie is looked upon as a specialist of this particular prologue time trial, and some of them really make something of it. And Ineke Gaston way down in 66th place, so not really in contention. What a beautiful day for the race. Let's hope the weather keeps fine. We've had some disgusting weather for cycle racing so far this season. Not been exactly the ideal conditions, as De Wolf coming in to sight. Now, De Wolf looks like he's struggling somewhat here for the Tonton Tapis team. He's been having some quite good performances early on this year, and I think he probably is one of those chaps we might see in there with a chance of picking up a stage victory, because Dirk De Wolf coming in third, for instance, in the Amstel Gold this year, just shows how strong he is when it comes to these single stage type races. So De Wolf going well, and he's not going to pick up anything of the top 20, I suppose, in this prologue time trial, but he will be looking, I'm certain, for a stage victory, because there you are, you can see the sort of clock he's got. He likes to follow wheel and go for it when you get the big bunches going away and sprinting. In fact, a lot of the big sprinters are not particularly good at time trialing, but Jelle Neidem is another rider that's going to go in the last 22, and he, of course, is a great man when it comes to riding against the watch. 104th, I'm not surprised for Dirk De Wolf. He didn't seem to be too happy with that one. 11th at Tour of Flanders as well, so he's been going quite well in the World Cup this year. And we're going to have later on Sorensen, because he is leading in the World Cup. A lot of cycle racing going on at the moment. De Wolf there just having finished. He's lying 6th overall, De Wolf, in the FICP World Cup individual rankings. Frans Maassen, well, he's a big hitter, and those of you who watched the coverage of Eurosport of the Tour de France last year remember that he won the stage 1 out on the road of Frans Maassen, and took the group away. He's now in 6th place then, quite a sterling ride for him. Maassen last year on the Futuroscope stage with a little group of Barr, Penzek, Kierpucci and Maassen, they went away together, and those 4 men really set the whole scene for the Tour last year. And it wasn't right until we got to that stage 20 that Le Mans managed to get the jersey off Kierpucci. Penzek held it, Barr held it. Maassen never got the jersey, he won that stage. A great Robin when it comes to single stage. I think that's what he'll be looking for today and in this race. So Marshall Guyon, this could be quite a useful rider as well, and a useful time coming up from Marshall Guyon. Let's see what this one is. And yes, they're cheering him on. He really is giving this one some stick. Marshall Gallant then out of the saddle for the Toshiba team, which unfortunately is not going to run after this year. It's one way, I think, making rather a bit disillusioned, but certainly as far as the Toshiba squad is concerned, the disappointment that their backer has now dropped away. No, he's slowing a little bit around that corner, a bit deceptive looking down there. I thought he was going to get in with a chance. The way he was coming, he's obviously come on song towards the end, but no, he's lost his little edge there. As Gallant is now back in 61st place, so it looked good, but it wasn't quite as well as we thought it was. 3 successes last year for Gallant, quite a good operator. We're going to see, I'm sure, him in action later on when they're going for stage victories. Well, Brian Holm, number 173 from the Histor squad. Yes, I think he's not going reasonably well. I'm just trying to get him on that corner there, a bit of a lead, but he not choosing, by the looks of it, to ride with the disc wheels. I just think he's one on the back, but he's got the odd spoke wheels on the front. The choice of componentry now for the riders in the Prologue time trial is quite remarkable. In fact, some of them are now going off discs and going to these wheels with fewer spokes in. Some of them are tri-spokes with just 3 in, some are 4 spokes, some are 5 spokes. And everything to do with cutting down the wind resistance. And because everybody now is switching to these triathlon handlebars that Greg LeMond used. He's down in 17th place, 6:30.24 then for Brian Holm. Small front wheel on his bike, big back wheel, the vehicle behind with the spare bikes in case there's a need to suddenly get a spare bike behind the rider. As Yarman coming in, he's the next to come into sight from Switzerland then, 166 riding for the Weimann La Suisse team. And this rider then, Rolf Yarman, who was away. Those who watched our coverage of the Tour de Suisse, Yarman was one of those riders that got away on that fight, was it third stage as such, and was unfortunately bit by bit drifted off the front as the pressure came on the big mountains. So useful rider, but his job I think will be to look after the 670, 618. Well, he's coming into sight. He's not probably going to get it, but he could get into the top 10 at this one. Rolf Yarman heading in for the line, and just over there, it's 13th, so I thought he might have drifted into the top 10, but he didn't quite make it. So that's Yarman out of control. Oh, here's a man now to watch out for, Olav Ludwig. This fellow we're going to see a lot of during the tour, that I'm sure, and he's going to be looking for stage victories, this man. Ludwig coming through now, the Olympic gold medalist in 1988, 30 years of age. He won the peace race in 82 and 86. Big Olav Ludwig last year took the green jersey as the points winner in his first Tour de France, and already this year looking good, and I think I know what he's after. He's after stage victories in this particular race to add to last year's successes in the Tour de France. Let's see what he's going to do. This could be a reasonable one, but I don't think he's going to make the top 10, or is he? There's a fair chance he goes for it. Ludwig pushing on the pedals, goes to the line, and that puts him in the 5th place. Ludwig, good one, at 6:25.44, sorry. That's a good ride then by Olav Ludwig, and I think that just gives you some idea of his form. He retired, by the way, from the Tour of Spain when the mountains came up, because he decided then that it was going to be a bit too tough for him, and he was drifting out of the contention, so as he couldn't see himself get out of the mountains, he packed in, and that's one thing some of these big sprinters do, is hang back and try and survive. Ludwig then 5th at the moment, Galt's the leader on this time trial section. Team Emrada next to come into sight, then Konishev. Now, here's a man who took the jersey last year in the Tour de France as the best mountain climber. He also surprised everybody the year before when he took the silver medal in the World Championship at Chambéry, not far away from Lyon here. Second he was over the line behind Greg LeMond, who had a fantastic season that year. Konishev not going to do a fair time trial, but I think when we see him in the mountains, he should be going some. He's lost a little bit of edge to his form in the last couple of weeks or so, but of course with the flat stages going down for something like 13 stages before we get to the climbs in the Pyrenees, then I think that he's going to look forward to those mountains. Well, still a lot more riders coming in. This will be Cravelet. We're going to take a short break and come back in a moment. Well, while he's been away, Thierry Cabriolet has been pedalling in towards the finish, and you can see by the clock it's taking him some time to get here, and that's 125th overall. I wonder if he had a bit of trouble, because I wouldn't expect a rider of his class, who's previously been up there in the King of the Mountains competition in the Tour de France, I wouldn't have thought that he should have been that far back. You never know what happens in cycle racing out there, and we wait for information to come in from the organisation, but we haven't heard exactly what happened to him then. But bad luck then for Cabriolet, fell down, well down on the general classification. Who could forget the occasion a couple of years ago when Delgado, in fact, missed the timekeeper's call and arrived something like 2 minutes and about 4 seconds late for his time trial. And Lely 6:34.74. So that was an absolute heart stopper. I remember sitting doing the commentary, and we were all there looking down the road and thought, where the heck had Delgado got to? And of course he had not checked his time, and he was late to the start, and that virtually lost him the Tour, although he tried manfully there afterwards to pull back the deficit. He was starting really in a difficult position, so that was bad luck to him. So the Prologue time trial can make and mar people's ambitions. Eric Breukink, again a couple of years ago, won the Prologue time trial, and everybody thought that set the scene for him to go on to win, but unfortunately he drifted out of contention and retired, much to the chagrin of his then team manager Peter Post. But Breukink with the PDM squad is one of those tipped for the top. Here at number 119 on his way in, and that isn't going to frighten anybody, I don't think, because that's Oscar de Jesus Vargas from the Raelo Postobon team. And they're going to look really to Luis Herrera in the mountains. And these Colombian teams are all Colombian riders for this squad. They don't have the reputation of being the best when it comes to pedaling their bikes in the bunch parts of the course, but when it comes to mountains, you just see how they fly. So watch out for the colours of the jerseys. When we get in the mountains, watch out for those Postobon riders. So Gerard Roux from the Helvetia team, looking underneath there, I don't think he's going to crack it either. He's outside the 6 minutes underneath the bridge, underneath the gateway. And the crowd giving him all a sympathetic round of applause. They come through. Reaches down for his gear levers. Of course, some of these riders, I mentioned it very time and time again on the commentaries, and somebody else said, well, shut up about these gear systems. You can see then he reached down to change gear and lost a bit of motion going round. Of course, some of the riders now with the brake levers combined with their gear levers, it's much easier for them to change gear on a twisting circuit like this one. And of course, many of the top riders have been round the course just looking for those few tenths of seconds they can shave by chipping the corners, by changing gear at the right place. And in fact, certainly Thierry Marie has been down here on this course practicing as one of his teammates here, Luc Leblanc from the Castorama squad, and I think we don't see the clock down. That looked like a fairly quick one to me around that bend, because it hasn't been long then since we saw the other rider go. So they're starting at 1 minute intervals, and you're seeing up in the top right hand corner of your screen the other riders setting off on the route round. So the that's just, I thought it was quite quick, this one. All six, he's going to be close to that 6:20 mark. Leblanc really stirring for the Castorama team. He's just slipping outside goals, but that could put him up in the top third or fourth place. Over the line, sixth. Well, 6:25.46. They're cracking up here on our schedule, and that was quite a useful one. So he's just put down Frans Maarsens, who previously was up there in that top half dozen. So we'll try and keep an eye on these then, as Leblanc getting at 6:25.46. And who we got to come after Leblanc? Well, it'll be Esno, then Lauritsen, Van der Ebeli, Tebaldi, Fuerti, and then exactly at 4 o'clock, starting off the ramp, there'll be Jean-Francois Bernard, and then 1 minute later, Sean Kelly. And that looked to me, that was Kelly underway. So 1 minute past 4, looked up in the top right-hand corner, Sean Kelly set off as Esno comes in to finish. So we should, in just about 6 and a bit minutes, be looking for Sean Kelly to come down his finishing straight. So I tell you, the big hitters are beginning to go, and after Kelly, Bontempi will be the next to go. And Bontempi won the Prologue time trial, was about about 3 years ago down at Pornichet-la-Baule, so he'll be trying to do a good ride as well. The big hitters then coming on in. This one's not going to cause Rolf Goltz any trouble. Now, Goltz's time, 6:22.38, might surprise one or two people, but way back in 1984, Rolf Goltz was in fact second in the Olympic individual pursuit. So give you some idea of Goltz's performance back there as a pursuiter, and that's the key to this sort of effort. As Dag Otto Lauritsen now no longer the champion of Norway. We watched him riding all last year and up to this Sunday just gone in the jersey of the champion of Norway. Again, one of these riders who can do extremely well. Winner of the Tour de Trump a couple of years ago, and then last year competed with a cracked wrist and didn't in fact enable himself to do a lot of good in that particular event, and is now one of these strong riders from the Motorola team. Motorola team car behind him. And there's no need on this occasion to use technology which they've got, and that is they've now got helmets with little radio in it, and they can receive instructions from the team manager behind. But on a Prologue time trial they won't need that sort of equipment, but that just gives you some idea of what modern technology is doing to cycle racing. Look at his blue shoes as well. He's got special covers over the top of his shoes of this material they use for ski suits for the downhill skiers to cut through the wind resistance. And oh, here we are, Duclos Lassalle up on the line. I'm glad we've got him on screen. That's the man who won the Midi Libre this year. As he goes down off the ramp, a tremendous burst of applause and cheers all the way around, because Duclos Lassalle will be 37 years of age this August. One of the oldest men in the race. I'll have to scratch my head and think, in fact, whether Henk Lubedink is older than him, because he and Henk, two of the great performers at cycle racing over all the years. In fact, Henk Lubedink is going to be 38 years of age in August, so they're going to be level pegging those two for the old man stakes, but both of them still pitching in there, and Duclos Lassalle showing great form in the Midi Libre. Number 67 out of contention, coming through here as Van Bailey of the Lotto team. And a quick look at where we're at so far. Goltz still the best, 6:22.38. We had Van Hooijdonk 6:24.20. Another one up there. LeBlanc's time at 6:25.46, for about sixth place as well. Ludwig 6:25.44 in fifth spot. So there's still a lot of riders closely packed together, as number 58 on his way through for the Chateau Dax team, and this is Valerio Tebaldi. Of course, this team actually changes colour a bit like a chameleon. If you look at them coming at you, they've got a black front to the jersey, and then when they go around the other way from you, they've got a green on the back of them. So that sort of gives you a bit of a confusion if you're watching. A black front, green back, and that must be a commentator's nightmare if you happen to be in the... journalist's nightmare if you're trying to follow the bunch. We up here in the commentary point, not much problem. Camera picking up some very good positions, and a nice crowd out today to watch it as well. So, Tebaldi, 61st overall, and 6:38.65 for Tebaldi. And up there, waiting to go then. Now this could be quite a useful one at El Morro. A very, very fast man indeed, and I think there's a fair chance we shall get a good time here. So I tell you, we're getting a bit quicker all the time, and as he goes off the round, look at that wonderful shot we've got here of the start then. The Tonton Tapis team, which has been put together by Stephen Roche as an opportunity of trying getting themselves into the tour. They've cracked it, they've got in here, and a chance of perhaps of him coming into form, although he hasn't been too happy with his form just recently, as the team leader of this squad, as Morrow on his way through. Lovely top shot, just give you some idea of the riders, the way in which they can position themselves on the corners. And Bernard, as I say, one time the darling of the French when they were looking for a man to take over from Bernard. He's really getting a tremendous burst of applause from around here, and so we think that we haven't seen Fuerti, by the way, so I don't know what's quite happened to him. Perhaps when we went back tomorrow he might have come in and finished. We're just looking at the screen here in our commentary point, and Jean-Francois Bernard coming down here. Is he going to get inside that 6:22? It looks like he's going for it. This man's come back as a revelation. He could take the lead. He's just got to go that bit harder for the line, throwing his bike forward, and he gets there. Oh, he's gone in the lead, 6:21.03. just a slender point of 1:30, so a fraction. Oh my goodness, what a ride. Jean-Francois Bernard, that's really going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. The people here who have been really supporting that ride over the years watched him go out virtually into oblivion and topbles with his knees, topbles I think psychologically as well. Jean-Francois Bernard finding his way back into contention. That is going to really put the Benesto team, I think, in jolly good heart. So Bernard finished. Kelly must be the next to come. Here he is, Sean Kelly, who's on his way through. Sean Kelly, one of the greatest competitors in the Tour de France. He first rode way back in 1978 when he was 34th. And Sean Kelly really going for it. Don't know what he's going to do this time, but what a record he's got. He failed to finish in 87. He didn't ride in 86, but otherwise than that, right the way through from 78, Kelly's been in there. Winner of the Green Points jersey as well. Finished 4th in 85. Last year he was back in 30th spot. Sean's not going to topple the man there, but Kelly, having cracked his collarbone, the Paris-Nice, now looking to add to his formidable record, and I'm sure we'll go and try and get a stage victory. He's not going to win the Prologue, but 35th place, that's the one that he's going to have. And oh my goodness, this is going thick and fast, believe you me. Well, we're getting down Uwe Ampel, I think. Is that him up down the line? No, not quite. We haven't got quite yet down that far. And the rider, oops, we're checking down here on the Bontempi, this must be, yes, because he was coming up after Kelly. Guido Bontempi, Mr. Lightning himself when it comes to sprinting, but I don't think at this stage he's going to do too much. Let's wait till it is there. Bontempi, Jean-Francois Bernard, the time to beat 6:21.03. That is Jeff's time, they call him Jeff. Bontempi, quite a useful one. 4th, my goodness, so Bontempi into 4th spot. Winner of the Prologue time trial 3 years ago in the Tour de France, and a useful sprinter indeed. I think we're going to see Bontempi trying to pick up the odd stage victory here and there as Duke de la Salle, listen to the crowd all around the course. It doesn't matter if he comes in first, second or last as far as they're concerned on this Prologue time, so they'd certainly like him to be up there with their leaders. But after that tremendous performance, this rider then coming into the finishing straight, that brilliant ride in the Midi-Libre, Duke de la Salle won a stage in that race, took the overall victory, and he's going very well indeed. This is a great ride, in superb form. Just think of that, all you 37-year-olds out there. What a fit performance you're watching from one of the great classic riders in French cycling. He's been a pro since 1977. He's had something like 52 successes in that time, and he's still giving it all he's got. The Z rider, Duke de la Salle, hits the line. He's in 4th place. 6:24.32 for Duke de la Salle. That's an absolutely cracking ride, and time for us to get our breath back and take a short break.
Eurosport.
Welcome back then to our coverage of the Prologue time trial here in Lyon. The Tour de France kicking off in fine form. The leader on your screen, Jean-Francois Bernard, that was his time. No challenge there. We've just recovered from the emotion of watching Duke de la Salle do a tremendous ride indeed, and that I think really has set the crowd a-buzzing. Brilliant performance, and to think he's got to hold that form all the way through. We've got 23 days ahead of him, 22 days of racing till they finish in Paris on the 28th of July. We're going to be covering live, we've just switched on to Eurosport and watching the Tour de France. We're going to cover it every day live in the afternoon. You'll get a highlights programme as well, first thing in the evening, and then last thing at night as well, a 1-hour programme. So this race coming through to you with the top riders from the world taking part in what is undoubtedly the bike race of the year. And Flora Moreau's got it, 6:18.34. We lost track when we went off there. We just picked this one up again. That ride by Moreau is absolutely brilliant. 6:18.34. That's nearly a full 3 seconds faster than we've had so far. And Brian Montgomery, who's writing all the figures down for me here, has just had a fit. He's got nowhere to put his time. We'll have to leave a bit of a gap, I think, on our score sheet. It's coming thick and fast, these riders. Moreau just having finished. Rooks should be the next one to come in, riding in the jersey of the champion of Holland, the red, white and blue jersey. Is he going to have to exchange that one in this race for the jersey of the King of the Mountains, because that's the one that Rooks is after. Stephen Rooks, a previous winner of the King of the Mountains in the Tour de France, now in the championship jersey of Holland. So Rooks then looking, I think, to add to that King of the Mountains he got in 1988. Couple of stage victories in the Tour de France for his credit. It's a good one as well, so he's just showing that he can time trial pretty quickly. Not going to topple that ride of Morrow. That was an absolute brilliant performance by Morrow, and Rooks 6:20, that's just outside 6:30 I'd have thought, so that's not going to challenge the 6:18.34, but a useful ride then by Stephen Rooks, coming back into form. He had a pretty quiet year, I think we can call it, last year, and that was a bit of a disappointment for him, but see these riders come back into form just at the absolute right time. And well, the next to come in, Luvio 187 for the Toshiba team. Bright colourful rear wheel spinning round and round, and the riders on the way through here. Toshiba for Luvio, leaning out the window, the team manager Bernard Valle urging on his rider. Of course, their top rider Laurent Jalibert will be following on later on, and after Luvio we've got Remmig Stumpf, the big Remmig Stumpf to come through. So Luvio just waiting then for the big German to come into sight with the next one. Best known as a sprinter roadman, all these specialities that these riders have got, and I think we'll find, here he comes, powering along, the riders from Germany. Big strong fellow, this one. He's about 6'4" actually. Well, there we are, confirmation then of the position. Morrow, Bernard, Goltz, Van Hooydonk. Van Hooydonk, good rider, consider that he was way off about halfway through the field, and Goltz early as well. Duke Lascelles still on the top leaderboard as Stumpf coming into sight, winner of stage in the Kellogg's Tour of Britain, and wonder if we're going to see him in action over there in England during this coming event, which takes place in August. Some of these riders, of course, looking for many other events after the Tour de France is finished to add not only to their point score in the FICP classification, but their bank balance as well. Stumpf not going to topple the no, 6:32.53. I don't think that he'd be too bothered about that. He's going to look for his stage victories, and a few seconds here and a few seconds there. At least he's warmed his legs up and got a chance then of relaxing. And let's see what we've got coming up next after Stumpf. It was Carlo Bowmans, a previous champion of Belgium. Bowmans for the Wyman team. Under that, inside the 6 minutes, 5:59. It'll be a useful time, but I don't think Carlo Bowmans is going to cause any trouble to that brilliant ride by Morrow. Bowmans out the saddle, smiling character, nice happy sort of fella. Wyman, I think they're going to have to be one of those teams that looking in the Tour de France for an opportunity of just snatching something from under the noses of the other riders, and particularly Thomas Wegmüller. I'm sure if he gets his head and starts to go for it, he can get up quite a useful lead, and can be a man to watch out for in some of the stage. Carlo Bowman's coming in. Yes, I'm not surprised to see Carlo out of it. He's going to, I think, be waiting for the sprint of the various tours. Winner of 4 events last year. Oh, Fignon up in the top right-hand corner. Whole of France are watching this man now, because Laurent Fignon won a stage in the Tour de Puy just some 8 days ago, and as far as he's concerned, he's got to really show something this year in the Tour and pull back his... of Yakimov coming in now, the 3 times world champion pursuiter, holds 11 amateur world records. He could well be the one to take the lead for the Panasonic squad. Yakimov is going for this one. You're watching a world champion action, but he's not going to do it. Morrow has pushed him into second place, but that's 6:20.72 for the Panasonic Sport Life rider from the Soviet Union. Yakimov, great ride there by him, and that really puts him in second spot, but he must be a little bit sore. He couldn't go that a little bit quicker. What a character he is too. Jesper Skibby on his way through. Jesper Skibby, the next rider to come down here. Don't think that he'll be quite with it. He's got inside that gateway well inside the 6 minutes, so that's useful as far as Skibby is concerned. So here he comes then, 28 years of age. He's won stage in the Tour of Italy and the Tour of Denmark, as the crowd urging him on in towards the finish, and it can be quite a useful ride then for Skibby. Couple of wins last year in the Tour of the EEC, so I think he'll be going for stage victories to catch a few people out, and he's going to get close to those top men as well. Skibby's coming in quicker than I thought, but he's going to just drop outside it. Oh, Skibby in 4th place. Well, this is absolutely outrageous. They're toppling each other and getting close. TVM will be very, very pleased indeed by Skibby's performance, and that has kept him up in the top half dozen. As number 135 coming into sight now, Pascolino from the RMO team. Let's see when he goes through that gateway. That's the sort of magic place when you've got to be well inside the 6 minute mark. That's our little little time point. He's gone in 4:52, so that could be quite a useful time as well as far as Pascolino is concerned. Now the man with a very bright rear disc wheel to cut through the wind resistance, these helmets, the goggles, the glasses, the low profile bikes, every little aid they can have to cut through the wind. Lino, they're getting faster all the time. There's 6:18.34 to beat from Murrow, and he's already gone past that one. Well, one time anything ran about inside 6:30 was looking good as far as we're concerned, but right now the 6:18 the one to beat. Murrow then the lead. Jean-Francois Bernard in second spot at 6:20.72. Rolf Galt still holding third spot, 6:22.38. In 4th place, Jesper Skibby, 6:21.26. And then the top 4 as Rolf Sorensen, the leader on the World Cup, comes into sight, and this is going to be a good ride from Rolf Sorensen. He's really punching for this one. You can see the look on his face as he's gulping in air. Some of these riders haven't been too keen, it doesn't seem, to go for it. So here he is then, this lad from Copenhagen, 26 years of age, with a tremendous ride last year when he took the final Paris Tours Classic race, and Sorensen is not going to do this one. The leader in the World Cup isn't going to go into the lead, so he's just outside 6:29.74. So not up in the top half dozen or so. Well, we're going to have to take a short break. Come back in a moment.
Eurosport.
Welcome back then to the Prologue time trial in Lyon. The start of the Tour de France 1991 edition, and a lot at stake. The reputation, the chance of taking over that yellow jersey. The leader at the moment then, Murrow, 6:18.34, as Pascal Richard coming in towards the finishing straight. The man who finished second in the Tour de Suisse, twice world cyclo-cross champion, Pascal Richard, not known as the best specialist at this sort of dictate. He's going to be looking, I think, towards the big mountains ahead. He already won a stage in the Tour of Romandie. He'd actually win the Tour of Romandie, the Prologue, to start that race off, but not, I think, his day today. Laurent Fignon, what a man, what a character. If you see that little white thing, by the way, at the back of his saddle, there's a special device which slipstream and takes the turbulence around the back of the saddle. It also, with a little lip up, means they can push back and get a bit of extra effort into it. Laurent Fignon, quite a useful time. They're gone past the 6 minute point, and Fignon on his way. The crowd hoping that he can dig something out and get himself up there in contention. The Tour de France 83 and 84, he won this one. Second in 89 by that slender 8 seconds to Greg LeMond. What a man this fellow is, Laurent Fignon. Not going to get it in the time trial. Will his Castrama teammate Thierry Murray be able to do it? We'll have to wait and see. Still Laurent Fignon, ponytail in the breeze, and he's taken now to wearing that special crash hat and the low profile bars and the triathlon bars, because that slender 8 seconds, if you're watching Eurosport's coverage of the Tour de France a couple of years ago, when Le Mans snatched back victory from the Parisienne, actually in Paris, where we're going to finish this year again. And a lot of people said, well, he hadn't got a crash hat on, he hadn't got low profiles, he hadn't got the old triathlon bars, and it made all the difference. Well, modern technology technology. Ron Pensek then switched from the Seo team to ride for the Amaya BH squad at the 11th hour, because originally he was trying to get in with the Seo team, so he hasn't made it, but he's riding here with a very strong team indeed. And we're going to see this man who wore the yellow jersey last year in the Tour de France, I think, enjoying himself a bit more in the mountains, but he doesn't look too happy at the moment. Roland Pensek then, who took the yellow jersey on stage 10 last year in the Tour de France, held it for a couple of days. If I remember correctly, he took it on his birthday, which I think is his 27th birthday in the Tour last year. Well, he's struggling a bit at the moment. He's going to have to come back in the mountains, or perhaps he did last year, getting that break when four men, Pensek together with Barr, Marsens and Chiappucci, stole a march on the rest of them. So he's 111th. He's not going to be too happy with that one, but there are, his day is yet to come. Steve Barr next to come into sight. Barr really going for it, and he's in fine form too. A couple of stages in the DuPont Tour this man has won. What a battling fellow he was. He was the one who wore the yellow jersey right the way through to stage 9 last year in the Tour de France. Will we see him yet again in that yellow jersey? Because Barr, a very, very tough contestant as far as Motorola is concerned. Second place, the Olympic road race way back in '84, and then he went into the World Pro Championship and took a third spot. He's been a great rider, this fellow. Battles his all the way through, and here he comes then, second in the Paris-Roubaix by Nats Whisker way back in '91 as well. Fourth this year in the Paris-Roubaix. What a tough man he is, and he's only gone back into 52nd place, so his time will come out there on the road. Barr, battling Barr, the Canadian, looking for the road section, I think, to have another go for that yellow jersey, which he's held before in the Tour de France, albeit fleetingly. Steve Barr's finished then. Next to come through will be de Klerk, and up there on the countdown, the riders then waiting to set off on the ride. And there they go. That's the time, 6:18:34. Leclerc going to be, I think, on the slow side for the Lotto squad. Coming in towards the finishing straight. No, not too happy with this one, and 62, we're getting well down the list of riders now. We're getting towards what I call the top big hitters. De Klerk coming in, going to have to really struggle to get inside the 7-minute mark, but he's made it. About your 122nd. So with we just saw Boyer go underway at the top right-hand corner. Cavestani next one to go up there. After him will be Stephen Roche. We should perhaps see him up in the top right-hand corner. Then Nydam, followed by Jalabert, and then we get down to Ampler. And so we really begin to move down now, because there is Cavestani, is the numbers 211. That shows that he is the top man in his particular team. Giovanetti then not going to topple the 6:18:34, and after Cavestani, 1 minute after him will be Stephen Roche. Will the bold Stephen make it this year? We'll have to wait and see, as the riders really, I'd say, we're getting towards the people who could probably, so he's keeping his fingers crossed, probably be in there with a chance of beating that phenomenal 6:18:34. Giovanetti's not going to do it. He's 105th place. So we've seen up there in the top right-hand corner, Cavestani go, and just coming on then Giovanetti. This is going to be Mari, is it? Let's see, looking back down here. Up there's Roche, up on the top there for Tonton Tapi, about to set off. And after Cavestani, there's Roche has gone as well. And so Mari now coming in. This is the winner of the Tour de Suisse. Tour of Spain, getting them all mixed up here, and he virtually was with the leading Once team right the way through from the start to finish in the coveted leaders jersey, and that's a good ride too by Mari. Second spot. Oh, that was tremendous in the Tour of Spain. He and his teammates absolutely frightened everybody by his brilliant performance. 6:19:36. He's really going to be somebody to contend with in this race. But one thought he might have come out of the Tour of Spain feeling a little bit sore from his efforts, but he's just shown that he has still got it in his legs, and that is a tremendous ride then for Mari, winner of the Tour of Spain. In the prologue, the Once team, when they had one of these split teams, Mauri Fuertes and Dir Zabula were the team that took the prologue when they had the three-split team, and that from moment on the Onse boys just moved the yellow jersey around. Maori finally took it over and steamed right through to win, and so we might see him in with a chance of taking the yellow jersey early in this race. Didn't topple the 6:18.34 of the leader Moreau, but Miguel Indurain's going to come close to this one as well. Miguel Indurain really coming at this one. Can he get up there? Miguel Indurain. Oh, that's a close one as well. No, he's gone into third place. Indurain, second in this year's Tour of Spain. Indurain, stage win last year in the Tour de France, 10th overall. That's the man you're looking at as well. And won the Paris-Nice last year, so if his team leader Delgado slides a bit, then he is in with a chance, because that's the sort of capabilities of that man. Well, we've got Jalabert up on the line now, 181, ready to go for his team Toshiba. He is the leader of the squad, and then after Jalabert's gone, we'll have Uwe Ampler. So we're ticking them down as they come out. They're coming thick and fast. Raul Alcala coming in now for the PDM team. Raul Alcala out of the saddle, going for this one. 7th this year in the Tour of Spain, when we thought he might be in with a chance of winning it. He didn't come good then. He won the Tour de Trump last year. He had a stage win in the Tour de France last year and in 1989 when he became the first Mexican to win a stage in the Tour de France. He's not going to win this one. He's in 17th place. Alcala then just completing his prologue. We're going to take another short break.
Eurosport.
Welcome back as Boye makes his way in towards the finish of this prologue time trial. We've just seen Wegmuller in the top right-hand corner of your screen set out from what they call the start house on his prologue of 5.4 kilometres in Lyon. Eric Boye coming in for the Z team. Let me update you on the overall position. He'll probably make a mess of it. No, he's not going to get up there in those top groups. So let's then give you a rundown quickly on the position. Moreau still the leader, 6:18.34. Maori, winner of the Tour of Spain, in second spot at 6:19.36. Jean-Francois Bernot still lying third overall at 6:20.72, equal with Yekimov in 6:20.72. Then Rolf Goltz, who's now slipped down to fifth place, 6:22.38. Jesper Skibbe, 6:21.26, and Van Hooijdonk, our early leader, 6:24.20. So that's the sort of top 2, 4, 6, 7 here. My good friend Brian Montgomery, thank you. Indurain also moving up there, has just topped them down. So he's gone up. So it's Moreau, Maori, Indurain, Barnard, Ekimov, Goltz, and those are the positions we've got at the moment, changing and coming in thick and fast. Well, Ruiz Cabestany, is he going to get up there? Obviously the time to beat now is 6:20, so we're going to have to keep an eye on all the 6:20 riders, because they're the ones, and he's outside it with Cabestany, because they've got to be inside 6:20, I think, to have any chance of doing well. So that takes Goltz, Skibbe and Van Hooijdonk out of it, of the top 10. 6:20 looks like the break point at the moment. So he's way down, nowhere near inside that 6:20. Stephen Roche underneath the gate at inside the 6-minute point. So that's and off goes Jan Tunisa, underway, and I think he's looking really more towards the mountains. Jan Tunisa, previously wearer of the jolly old spotted jersey of the Tour de France, King of the Mountains. Stephen Roche coming back into form, and he wasn't feeling too well. He was over in Ireland, I understand, just before this event started. But Stephen's a great battler, and he's got to do something in this tour, I think, this year. A man who won the triple, they say only Eddie Merckx has done it before, to win the Tour of Italy, the Tour of France, and the World Championship all in 1 year. Promising so much, Stephen Roche, and here he is at 6:38, so he's just outside the anything like a decent time, but still plenty of time yet to come for Stephen to get himself into some level of form. Oh, look at this, my goodness, hammering fast, and the crowd here urging on Nydam from the Buckler squad. He's an extremely fast man indeed, Yellow Nydam. His father was a great pursuiter. So Yellow Nydam on his way through, stage winner in the Tour de France. He got a couple in 89, he got a couple in 90 as well, by using his phenomenal speed to come off with just about 5,000 metres to go. And is Nydam going to get up there? He's riding as the fast man in the Buckler squad. And yes, third place, 6:19.80. Well, I thought he was going so smoothly. The rest of them throwing the bikes, although that was an absolutely superb and smooth performance indeed. His father, Henk, then was a great rider, and in 62 in the World Pursuits he was third. So in fact he's got a good background behind him. So that was Nydam home, and looking down the beautiful tree line straight here, Jalabert from Toshiba, that's a useful time. He was well inside 5:50 at the gate, so that could be quite something for the crowd to cheer out. Murrow's time has been looking always a bit dangerous, but so far nobody's managed to get it. They've been closing up all the time. Maury getting alongside, Nydam getting close to him, Jean-Francois Bernard, all these riders inside this magic 6:20, and Jalabert, is he going to do it? He's going to get inside the 6:20, or is he just outside it? So that puts him not up there in contention. That's the one with a little break point we're looking for now, 6:20, so 6:26 back in 18 spot then. Uwe Ampler on his way in, got to get inside that, say 6:40 I'd have thought at the gate to do anything good. Doesn't look like he's going to get this time. A little bit quicker than the last ride we saw come through. Tremendous performance though this man's had as an amateur. Imagine the great peace race in the other side of what used to be the Iron Curtain. He won that in 3 times, in fact, 89, 88 and 82, and was Olympic Games champion in 1981. So you're looking at an 1988, an ex-Olympic Games champion, now turned to the pro ranks, and of course amateur road champion 86 as well. A man who's had quite a useful career as a pro rider, but doesn't seem to have had quite the same success as a rider like Olaf Ludwig. But I think that Ampler in this year might be one to watch, because he's got to do something for his Histor team. Moved around a bit, but he's only 44th. That's not so good. I think he'd like to have been up there a bit better than that, just psychologically. So he's a strong competitor, and a lot of time yet to come. So behind Ampler, the winner of the Grand Prix de Nation, here comes Thomas Wegmuller. He will be next to come into sight. And Gilles Deleon up in the start house. We wish him the best of luck. Gilles Deleon has had some sort of mystery virus early this year, not found the form of last year. Thomas Wegmuller, great time trialist indeed, reaching down for a gear. Doesn't look like he's going to get it this time though. Wegmuller, he's got to get inside that magic 6:20. Can he do it? Thomas Wegmuller trying very hard indeed, but no chance for the... I think he prefer, as regards the long distance attempt of the Grand Prix de Nation, I think he prefers that sort of activity to this one. No, he's have to rest out of the top 10 as far as he's concerned, and that takes Wegmuller out. Next to come out of Wegmuller will be Maurizio Fondriest, riding for the Panasonic team, the ex-world champion. And Fondriest, this will be a useful time again. He's got inside the 5:50 at the gate, and but I don't think that 6:80 is going to be toppled. As up there in the stop out. Now that's the man we've got to watch out for, because we saw the start up there on the top of the picture. The top rise go De Leon. That was Marie that went away then, and Marie was the man who won the Prologue time trial last year. Let's see if he's going to do it this year. Fondriest not in to topple the top half dozen at all, but I'm sure we'll see him sprinting for success further on in the Tour. 20th place for Fondriest, a little bit blown by it. After Fondriest will be Gert-Jan Tenisa to come in. No, 5:47. He's going to be outside the 5:50 under the gate. Jan Tunisa riding himself back into form. He's been doing a lot of special and secret training down in the mountains, and that, of course, is what he's after. It's the mountains jersey that he wants. As goes Para. Para now is just off to the start. Again, Para, I don't think that he's going to be looking to be the rider who's going to win this, but no doubt about it. We've still got Marie. For my money, Marie, of these last riders, Le Mans likes it this sort of distance, but he's going to be last to go today. Marie is probably the man, if anybody, of the final riders, because we've got yet to come, if you're saying where are the top boys. After Marie, Pario, Hampston, Brunel, Bugno, Lejarreta, Delgado, Breaking, Chiappucci and Le Monde. And probably Breaking, Le Monde and Marie are the three who may well get that 6:18.34 right in their sights and go for it. We'll just have to wait and see. So after Tunisia, Charlie Motte, the crowd's great favourite. Charlie always had great aims and aspirations to win the Tour de France, but he's now set his sights really on trying to pick up stage victories. Charlie Motte not happy, I think, to go for the overall Tour. He's just going, I think, to try and win. Say he won one last year and surprise him. But this is quite a useful time from Charlie. He's really giving some stick. Is he going to win the Prologue time trial? I ask myself. No, he's gone past the magic time, but it's not going to be a bad one for Charlie. Charlie Motte coming in, he's in extremely good form at the moment, Charlie. The special, there was 21st place, but he likes mounted best of all. He won the Classic des Alpes when Robert Miller was in second place. LeBlanc was back in third. That new special event that was put together for the mountain climbers. Charlie got that one, so I think we could probably find him challenging for the King of the Mountains when we get up amongst the tough stuff. Motte finishing, Argentin on his way through. Argentin last year came into this Tour to win several stages, and those who are watching it will have seen him do it last year. Here he comes then, Argentin, winner this year of the Tour of Flanders. There he comes now, Argentin. This is going to be a good one. Argentin really going for this one. Argentin out of the saddle, and Argentin, oh no, 6:11, 6:12. I thought we got a good one coming up from Argentin, who really set his sights on the Classics earlier this year and went off to try and win what he could there. Last year, of course, he won that stage into Rennes when it poured with rain. No, his time isn't that good at the moment as far as Argentin is concerned. He's not going to get up there in this one. But I'm sure you'll see him going for a stage success. Winner of the Liège-Bastogne-Liège this year. I think I said Tour of Flanders, my mistake, Liège-Bastogne-Liège this year when he got that one. And of course, Crillon pushed back into second place as he was in the Flèche Wallonne. So Argentin, specialist, I think, for stages in this Tour. So watching a good collection of riders here, different short shapes and sizes. This should be Luis Herrera, a past winner of the Tour de France, and we're just wondering, can he get back that form, which seems at one time to have deserted him, because Herrera here coming up here to the crowd's applause is certainly not going to do well in the King of the Mountains, but he's got that sort of ability that when we get out there on the mountain itself, then he could well snatch back any sort of time that he's likely to lose now. Previous winner of the Tour de France went a little bit into oblivion for the last couple of years, but he's come back. He's been looking good when we've been seeing him on the box this year, and again, one of those specialist Colombians that just love the big hills. And you're going to have to wait though till we get down the Pyrenees. It's a long time to go, and let's hope he doesn't lose too much time on the flat stages of the race. Their job is to stay in contention and close to the big top riders. Herrera just finishing. Gilles de Lyon with his spoke wheels glistening in the sunshine. No time check there when he came through the bridge. We've got it now. He's a little on the slowish side. He's probably going to have to ride himself in after this mystery sickness that he's had. Last year, the best placed young rider overall in the race, and will he in fact be able to do a performance like that this year? Not a particularly good year. Milan San Remo last year took a third place, and that surprised everybody right at the back end of the season. Sorry, the end of the season. The back end of the season, he went on to win the Tour of Lombardy. So he had a good season last year with a wonderful sandwich, a win in the Tour of Lombardy to finish his third place in the Milan San Remo at the start. And in between that great ride in the Tour de France when he finished up there, the best young rider. So Gilles de Lyon, we welcome him back. Hope he has a good tour. And here comes Marie. This is the one they're all going for. Marie last year, who won the Prologue time trial last year, he was ahead of Le Mans by 4 seconds, ahead of Alcala by 4 seconds. Moreau last year was 10 seconds down on Marie. Can Marie do it this time? He beat him by 10 seconds last year. The Prologue Future Scope. He's really going for this one. This is the specialist. He's been on the course practicing. It looks like he's done it too. Marie, it's paying off for this Prologue specialist. He's coming down the straight. Can he get it on the line? That's it. He's there, and it's 6:11.23. Thierry Marie has chopped nearly 7 seconds off Moreau's time. Last year he took 10 seconds out of him. Now it's 7, but I don't think that one's going to be beat. Well, we're going to take a short break, come back for more action.
Eurosport.
Welcome back as Fabio Para, number 81, riding for the Maya team here, coming down the finishing straight after that a truly brilliant ride by Thierry Marie. The time 6:33.11 for Para, but he can soon pull back those 22 seconds or so in the mountains. Not being disrespectful to Marie's mountain climbing, but he's done exactly what he set out to do. Marie, winner last year of the Prologue time trial at Future Scope. Andy Hampson will go around with a reasonable time, I think. That's just outside the 6:50 at the bridge. So Marie now recovering from that tremendous performance on the Paris-Nice on stage 1 again. He did the same thing. He took the lead in that one. And it's a very special way, as far as Marie's concerned, of getting himself some publicity and getting the coveted jersey to start in a race that's to go and do well in the Prologue time trial. And he's done a scintillating time. The one he went off, especially after the Dauphiné Libéré, he went totally to come down here and check the course. Of course, in the Dauphiné Libéré, he won the Prologue time trial in that as well, did Thierry Marie. So he's becoming an absolute out-and-out specialist of this one, but that's what it's all about. Go for something you know you can do it well, and get the accolade of the crowd. Andy Hampson then, twice winner of the Tour de Suisse, 74th, and of course winner of the Tour of Italy as well. Hampson, I think, could be a dark horse in this race. In the Tour de Suisse this year, he came back from being something like 11 minutes down on Le Creusen to get within about a couple of minutes of him at the end by using his great mountain climbing skills to close the gap. So we could see quite a change as far as some of these riders are concerned up in the mountains. So there, the yellow jersey, the last man, is away in the time trial, and it's Greg LeMond as Brunel comes in. So LeMond's got 6+ minutes ahead of him. That's all the action we've got now for you as the actual riders are pounding the way round this course. The heat shimmering off the crash barriers. You can see how hot it is, way up in the 30s. Not a lot of wind on this tricky course as Brunel for the Lotto team heading on in towards that finish, but he's going to be nowhere near the time of Thierry Marie, and I think that probably that's the one as Johan Brunel coming through to finish in 49th place in 6:32. So that's Brunel finished. Bugno will be the next one to come in. Another tip for the overall chance of winning this race, Gianni Bugno. And at 6:49, not too good, I think, at the moment. A couple of stage wins last year in the Tour de France when he finished 7th overall. Could go better this year, I'd have thought. Winner of the Milan-San Remo and the Giro d'Italia last year, and British viewers will have seen Gianni Bugno do a brilliant ride in the Wincanton Classic when he took first place and 3rd in the World Championship and 1st in the Paris World Cup. So that was the sort of performance you're watching now from Gianni Bugno, who really has got the Tour of Italy in his sights. But of course, you come into this race a little bit tired. He was 4th in the Tour of Italy this year, so the Tour de France saps your legs if you've ridden the Tour of Italy as well. And Bugno crossing the line at 6:29.86. His 4th place in the Tour of Italy this year. He's now wearing, of course, the Italian champion's jersey, and he's just finished. Lejarreta next to come. What a strong Ironman. I hope you'll forgive me if I mention the fact that this fella doing the triple, riding the Tour of Spain, Tour of Italy, and the Tour de France. He's done it before, he's doing it again, and here he is in the Tour of France, riding for this very, very strong Once team, and Lejarreta on his way round to finish. He finished 5th in the Tour of Italy this year, Lejarreta, and here he comes. He's not going to he's going to quite a respectable time at the moment, but he finished in third place in the Tour of Spain. He managed that, third in the Tour of Spain, finishing in fifth place in the Tour of Italy, and now he is here riding in the Tour of France. What an Ironman we're looking at. Marino Lejarreta probably onto his best set of scores so far in his desire to ride the 3 major tours ever, and that puts him in 58th place. Keep your eye on that rider for the rest of the 3 weeks. What a strong man. There we are, confirmation of this little list we've got here. Murray, Muro, Maury, Pratt, Nidam, Indra and Yakimov in that order. If your name doesn't start with an M, you're not going to get the top 3, so it seems here. And well, after Lejarreta, Pedro Delgado certainly has decided to have a go for this one this year, and the crowd here urging him on. Delgado, who did not ride the Tour of Spain this year, deliberately to concentrate upon the Tour de France. He's no mean performer against the watch, and this will be quite a useful one. He's finished first in the Tour de France in 88, Delgado, second in 87, a third in 89, sixth in 85, and he has got a nice list of stage victories too. He's not going to win the Prologue time trial, but Delgado there in 31st place. Quick check of his watch, at least this time he got to the start in time, unlike a couple of years ago when he didn't make it. Eric Breukink, let's see what the clock says here. This man is a specialist in time trialling, but I'm not quite certain though that Eric would prefer this shorter distance. He really wants the longer ones, 5:47, so I don't think he's going to crack this one. Eric Breukink, winner of the DuPont Tour this year, and he had a couple of stage wins when he went to first place overall. In the Tour de France last year, he finished third, and Eric Breukink, one of the greatest probably Roman time trialist there is going to be quite good though. It's better than I thought. He's coming down here. Is he going to get the 6:11, throwing his bike forward just outside? That's going to give him at least second place. It is 6:13.32. Eric Breukink, it looks so effortless. Checkpoint here, didn't seem to see he was going that quick. That just gives you some idea of his sheer out and out ability. Chiappucci next to come through. Well, he's a bit of a rebel, this character here, because a lot of the riders get on the wrong side of his tongue and the wrong side of his pedals too as well. Second last year in the Tour de France, and this is a useful one as well. Let's see it underneath that bridge. That's it, 5:42. Chiappucci really is going well, not best known as a Prologue time trialist. He's really going for this one, so this could be close as well. Chiappucci, who had that yellow jersey last year when he was part of that 4-man group that went away and held it from stage 13 through to stage 19. This is the man we cheered on last year. He didn't lose his yellow jersey into Lac de Assiette time trial when Breukink beat him. Le Mans took the jersey. He battled on to finish last year in second place, and he's doing a good ride this time as well. He's not going to get the victory, but he's certainly going to stay in contention. Can he beat 6:20? No, not quite as quick as I thought it was. He's staggering towards the end, and that is 6:26 and a bit, makes him in 21st place. Come on now. Greg has been quoted as saying he's come into this race not as sharp as he would have liked. He's ridden a lot more races in preparation this year than he did last year. Last year, when he was riding in the Prologue time trial, he finished second to Marie by just 4 seconds. Can he get close enough this time? I doubt it by looking at that clock, but still again, with his very narrow special handlebars that he's got, the yellow jersey on his shoulders, this is Le Mans heading in then for a quite useful time, but I don't think he's going to topple the overall leader at the moment. The time is going away from him now. What a tremendous Tour de France reputation he's got. 3 times winner. He said he wants to go for 5 times winner to equal Hino and Merckx, but at the moment he's going to be over the line in third place, 6:14.71 in third place. That's still a useful time. I said he was 4 seconds behind Marie in the time trial last year. He was about the same this time as well. So that was a great ride by Le Mans. He has got some sharpness there, despite the fact he felt he wasn't as good as he would want to be coming into this tour, but I think he's answered his critics, he's answered himself as well, and as ever the press down there trying to get a few words from him, but I'll tell you right now he's going to have to get his breath back. That was some ride, wasn't it? There it is for you to look at while we go away now. It's time for us to take yet another short break. Do come back, please.
Eurosport.
Welcome back then to the slow motion action of Thierry Marie, who didn't go that slowly, believe you me. He went round in 6:11 and 23 seconds to run out victor of the Prologue time trial. This is Eurosport's coverage of the Prologue in this 1991 Tour de France. We're going on tomorrow to cover the first stage, Lyon. That's 115 kilometres, and then we're also picking up the second part of the stage tomorrow, which will be the race against the watch for the teams, the contre-montre par équipe, and the teams will be in action, and that always causes a few problems with those who can't follow a will, and do tune in and see that tomorrow, because here at this delightful city of Lyon, we're not actually going away from here up into the mountains. If you've been looking at the Tour de France route, I can tell you that the bits of times that these riders are getting at the moment will certainly be at risk as they go on the flatter section, but we're not really getting down into mountains till we get to Pau and then go to Jaca, and that is going to be on the stage on July the 18th, stage 12, 221 kilometres. Beautiful conditions here, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to turn out tomorrow to watch the road stage. And of course, it was this first day's stage last year that split the whole thing up and made the yellow jersey change hands between Bauer, Pensek and Chiappucci right the way till Le Monde exert his authority. So anything can happen. This is one thing that's intriguing about the Tour de France, is it takes in so many different routes, it suits different people, and the teams of 198 riders, they do have some problems at the moment. They tell us the teams in being able to control the racing, and so you do get breakaways nipping off, but there was no doubt about today. It was one man against the watch, and so with Marie in his welcome position as victor, because what a specialist when it comes to Prologue time trials, and all in the top three in the result today. The Prologue time trial all came out of the last 10 men to start. Marie, Breukink and Le Monde in that order. Breukink back in second place, 6:13.32. Le Monde 6:14.71 in third spot. Moreau, who set that cracking time, was back in 6:18.34. And then Murray, the winner of the Tour of Switzerland, Tour of Spain, 6:19.36, and Neidham 6:19.80. So that was the rundown on the result. These are all unofficial notes here, and the commentary point, my friend Brian Montgomery scribbling away like crazy, but we've been very excited the way that this rider rocketed around there. I say winner last year of the Prologue time trial. That was over 6.3 kilometres. He seems to judge it just exactly right, get it perfection, and has been training on the course to get his revs right and know exactly what to do. But for Le Monde, what a man. He's come back. He hasn't won anything this year, Greg Le Monde, and he nearly wins the Prologue time trial. Just give you some idea. Le Monde done nothing. Well, we've seen him lots of times in various races, and I must say he started this year much better. Here is the yellow jersey, which will go forward then. It's gone off the shoulders of Greg Le Monde. I wonder how long it'll take him to get that one back on his shoulder. But Thierry Marie will have that tomorrow for the start of the road stage, and that'll be that coveted jersey. I think he would like to keep it more than one day tomorrow, but you never know. He's got his moment of glory, the crowd here enjoying it, and what a competitor he is. So for his Castorama team, that's a chain of supermarkets that specialise in do-it-yourself and plumbing equipment and what have you. They certainly plumbed the depths of talents to get this character out, and there he is with the Credit Lyonnaise, that beautiful old lion in the yellow, everything in yellow. It's all bright yellow, isn't it? Well, that's what it's all about, the yellow of the Tour de France, the jersey they all race for. Came from the newspaper that was printed in yellow when it first started to promote the Tour de France all those years ago. So it's bright yellow on the rostrum up there, and we're going off then to say well done to Marie. We hope you'll join us tomorrow for the Lyon.